Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Kathleen Hepler, and thank you for coming to our weekly Monday night call. And today I have my buddy Valerie DiVaccaro. Say hello.
Hi, everybody.
And I'm sure we're going to pull in Mandy at some point, too. Mandy, you say hello, too. She's a little muted, I think. Are you there, Mandy?
I'm unmuted.
Beautiful. All right. We're going to pull you in. You don't even know what we're talking about today. We're going to pull you in, of course. And you'll be fine with it. Because you do this stuff so well that once we start the topic, you're like, oh, yeah, I got this. All right. So what we wanted to talk about today was whether you have one ambassador, 100 or 1,000, what to do with them. How do you lead them? How do you start? And so many of us over last month have started that because, hello, the amount of people that joined us in January is incredible. So welcome. If this is your very first Monday night training call, we welcome you to our little Plexus family and congratulate you on making an awesome choice on getting yourself healthy and getting out of your comfort zone to do something like this. And we're going to push you a little bit further so that you can get your friends and family a little bit healthier in the process. So welcome and thank you for coming tonight. And as I said before, there's a little bit of thing down at the bottom. Feel free to post questions and comments. Unmute yourself if you have any questions. But what we wanted to talk about today is just that. How do you lead your team? First and foremost, if you're on this call and you have one person, one ambassador, they should be on this call with you. For you to come on this call week after week and get information is great, right? It is. It's wonderful. We all learn from each other and you see faces that you see every week. But if you haven't talked to your team to tell them, then you're keeping this whole bubble of knowledge to yourself. And what good is that? That's what this whole system, this whole business is about, is duplication. When you walk in, if anything like me, you know nothing about how to run a business like this at all. So we're here to help you. But just imagine if you had one or two ambassadors and you said, hey guys, come on these calls with me, because this is how I do it all the time. I always say, I don't know everything. And so maybe if I get on, I get a piece of knowledge. You get on, you may take away a completely different piece of knowledge. Let's talk about it after. And you can really learn and grow together and start those conversations. So make sure that you, first and foremost, bring people onto that as well. And these little small tips and the calls that you're on and what you learn and asking questions. I don't know how many times I must say, ask questions all the time. All the time. And Val and I were just talking about it throughout this morning. People that ask questions are the ones, we love them because it means that you're interested. Think about the teacher on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And they ask a question. He asks a question to the class. Yes, he's super boring. I know, but stay with me. On there asking these questions and no one's answering. Oh my God, It's so boring. But imagine no one's answering his questions. No one's asking questions. It's super dry and boring. But think about it. If you're interested enough to come to these calls, you're interested enough to make a few dollars to pay for your own products, or interested enough to build this as a legacy business, you need to do more than just bring you here. But go ahead, Val, if you have anything to add to that about the calls and stuff like that.
Well, I missed the first half of what you're saying because I got totally disconnected to re-sign on. But yes, I agree. All I caught was that the importance of the team getting on these calls. It's great for you to get on here, but your team needs to be on here with you. And that's something that, you as a leader should be encouraging. Even if you have one person under you, you are a leader at this point. They are looking to you for what to do next, just the same way that you looked to your sponsor when you signed up. So, it's great to get on here and absorb all the knowledge, but bring your people along with you so that they are, they're getting the vision, they're understanding the business a little bit better and getting questions answered. I mean, I've been in this for almost 4 years, and getting on calls and listening to other teams talk or to, other leaders speak, I still learn something every single time. I take away something from every call. So, sometimes it's the time that you are receiving the information too, because when you're brand new, something may not hit home for you like it might 2 years from now. So it's important to stay plugged in, and it's important to, very important to get your team to stay plugged in, because that's what's, we're nothing without our teams.
I was just every time. All right. The one thing that I was just thinking about, the biggest thing so you got to stick with me for a little bit. 4 years ago when we started, I knew nothing of the company, nothing in the business. I didn't know anybody except the people that I was bringing in. And I hardly really knew them anymore because it was been a while since college for some of them. But the local people, we started getting together and we would meet at Dunkin' Donuts and Panera and the library. We knew nothing.
Right.
But what we did, I remember this part so much. I'm going to mute you, Val, just for now, just because it's the echoey. I can't find how to do that.
I'll mute it.
But when we got together, all we did was sit down and chat. We even brought our success kits out. Like it wasn't even a kit then, but it was just our stuff. And we would go through it and talk about it. And that stuff right there got me so excited. Because if you're anything like I was with little kids at the time, I would say, honey, I got to go to a meeting. It's super important. I got to go. And I would go to these meetings so excited just to hang out with people. And then by the end of the night, I remember one time this was like, it was a little starstruck almost because I saw Mandy. If you don't know this, Mandy lives in like 2 towns over, not even. And we have tons of mutual friends. I never met her before. The only reason why I joined this company because of her before and after pictures. And they kept coming up all the time because she signed under Christine. So Christine kept pushing these pictures out of this face. I'm like, oh, look at this face. And I loved it. So, and then I would get to meet her. I'm like, oh my God, now I'm friends with Mandy. It's so cool. So the people, I know, she's like, you're a jerk, that face. I know that face. But so think about it that way. Like all these people that you get to meet, guys, if you have one local person, you should be meeting with them once a month in person, not on a Zoom, not on a phone call, in person. Even if it's just to have a cup of coffee and Plexus comes up. Because I promise you, every month, the next month, you might have 3. The next month, you might have 10. It will snowball, but if it's just you and one other, you have to do this. Trust me on this. And you might think, well, if you're anywhere local to us, we do them once a month, but now they're different. We start meeting at the library and there came to be like 30, 50 people. Now we're at a hotel and we do it still once a month. And there's sometimes, 50, 60 people in there. And we stand up and we have a PowerPoint behind us and we do this whole thing. You don't have to start that way. We never did. So don't feel like, oh man, I can't do these. I can't, because I can't stand up in front of 50 people. You sit with a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts and it's fine. One thing that might be fun is just say what Liza does with her team sometimes. They meet at a restaurant and they just say, okay, you guys should, she doesn't have to pay for everything. Everyone orders little appetizers and sit down and chit chat and have a drink. But what we're trying to encourage you guys to, don't wait for your leader to do it. You be that leader. You be the leader. And you don't have to know everything. Have I said that about 25,000 times? It's okay. You know why? Because you learn together and it's fine. And guys, this isn't rocket science. You are not a brain surgeon. No one will die if you don't know what chromium does. Together, right? It's okay. Right. So don't be intimidated by that. If you get nothing else from that call, that's what you need to do.
I get it. People are scared. People are scared to do it. And there's really, I will fully admit to you that the first time I did it, I met with some of my team at Dunkin' Donuts, and I knew that, I was already going to Kathleen's meetings before, and I was like, okay, I guess it's time for me to step up and do this now. It was like, I just knew I had to do this, and I didn't want to. I mean, it's not, I never felt like, okay, I was a leader and I was, like I was like comfortable in this position. But if I didn't do it, I never would have progressed to where I am today. So that is, I mean, I went there scared out of my mind with no agenda to what to talk about. I just said, I'm going to just take questions. And then, I mean, and it was fine. I lived through it. And then one time, and this was early on, Christine, I was supposed to do one with Christine at Dunkin' Donuts and her team. And there was only like one of my team members who showed up and her team was there. And I was like, oh my God, now I have to lead her team. I didn't know what to do with myself, but I did it. I was fine. And I didn't know all the answers. And there was people there that I just went back to them and said, I'll find the answer for you. I mean, taking that initiative to do that will help you to feel better about this process and help you be a better leader. The more you do that, the more comfortable you'll feel. And having that personal connection with your team is crucial. I mean, these meetings that we hold are great. They're great, but there's 60 people in there. It's not as personal as sitting down, having coffee with 4 other people and having them be able to ask whatever questions they want, because you know what? They signed under you. So they feel comfortable with you. They don't want to ask me why they can't poop 3 times a day. They don't want to ask me that, trust me. But they feel comfortable with you. So let that be, that be your motivation, is that these people trust in you and you are here to lead them, whether you have 1 person or 3,000 people.
One other thing, if you have an ambassador or something under you and you're like, oh my gosh, but it's not, that person's not local, or you have a few people and you might have 1 or 2 local, but the rest are all over the place. If you haven't yet, even if you have 1 or 2 people, start a chat, an ongoing chat with them that you can, even if they're wholesale, truly, because especially if you're starting slow and it's in their wholesale, or starting with 1 or 2 in their wholesale, just keep in constant communication with them. Hey guys, how are you doing today? That kind of thing. You don't have to talk Plexus all the time. But once, as Valerie said, you start that communication and that conversation back and forth, it's so much easier to bring in Plexus. So if say you have that wholesale ambassador, like, oh shoot, I should have followed up with them. I haven't yet. And it's been a week and a half, 3 weeks, something, whatever it is, and it's gone too long, it just gets progressively worse. But if you have an ongoing communication, then it's so easy. Then follow-up becomes natural. And they may actually be much more comfortable sharing before you even ask how things are going.
Right.
But that chat, especially if you have people that might be interested in the business, I'm telling you, this is crucial to have all of your, at least your level 1s, or even some of your level 2s in there, just to keep a communication with them ongoing. You can tell them, hey, did you see the posting challenge today that we put out, that Gold Diggers put out? Did you do that? I'm doing it. I would love to see yours. Or, hey, I just did a super scary post on my personal wall. Can you guys go and comment on that? That's where you put all that. Or even things like this. Hey, the Gold Diggers Monday night chat or training call. Who's going to be on it tonight? Because I'm going to be on. And I do say this, I've talked about this a lot, because there's now becoming a lot more that are very vocal and very active. And they're fun. Oh my God, I'm in so many chat groups. And sometimes it's not very IPA, the income producing, but they're wicked funny. And I get to know personalities of people. It's great. And I absolutely love them. So if I'm in one of your chat groups and I don't talk very much, believe me, I'm reading as much as I can. And I get so much out of it. I love seeing that. And you want to cheer people on and welcome new people in. So there was one today that somebody said, hey, this is my new ambassador. Can you guys friend request her and go comment on her coming out post? Yay, of course. How great is that, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have one of those, I definitely encourage you to get one. Mandy, how many cajillions are you in? Are you in a
5 cajillion? A lot. Notifications go off all day long.
Yeah.
But do you have?
That's how you build relationships. That's how we all started. That's how we started running our business. We didn't have training or anything like that. We started it off group chats.
That's true. And then oh my gosh, the amount of questions that we asked each other, even silly things that you think that you're supposed to know. You know how many times I do that today of things I'm supposed to know and I don't. I'm like, shoot, what group can I not look like an idiot in this one? I'll try this question. You can, and it's great. And those are the people that you can confide in. And oh, believe me, we do a lot. Yeah. That is a good one. So if you don't have one, definitely try that. And if you have one and there's 10 people in it and only 2 are talking, it's okay, because those others are listening in. They're just not ready to chat yet. That's okay. And they might have turned their notifications off. Who cares? They'll come back at some point. They haven't left. And if they've left, it's okay too. Just keep going with what you have. I'm just going to read a few of these things. Oh, Ann says her team chat is so helpful. Oh my gosh, that's every single time. When we're in this, even though you're supposed to be paying attention, I know you are, I'm just totally kidding. Ann talks in her chat group like, ooh, this really hit home. Ooh, I like this. And it makes the communication go on. So if anybody is in the chat, but they're not on the call, they'll jump in. I shared a group chat with my new, my new ambassadors. I do get crickets, it says Debbie. That's okay. It's totally okay. Even though she says she doesn't want to do the business, it's okay. They're watching you and it's great. Power team groups are very helpful and great support. I'm telling you guys, you're going to love it. And if you are only one person and you have like sideline friends or people that you think, I like their personality, try one with them. Why not? But that's a big, big one. Okay, we can move on from that. But incentives, let's talk about that with your team. Yeah, right? You might see a whole lot of incentives in Goal Diggers. We did this group. If you have been here before this group, this Goal Diggers group was created, each of the 7 of us had our own team group. And we compiled them together because could you imagine if you were in all 7 team groups? That's insane. You get nothing done because you were looking at all those team groups, right? So we compiled it all together into one, and sometimes it's overwhelming with welcoming people, but it's fun overwhelming. But we also compiled pooled our money together so we could do fun incentives. But here's the thing. We know that sometimes it's not duplicatable, some of the incentives that we do. We get that. We don't expect you guys to do that at all. When I was a first time out, silver, gold, all that stuff, I never handed out money. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I am stingy. I am, and it's okay. Because it wasn't stingy. I was budgeting. I didn't have money for any of that stuff. Who has money to do that? You're trying to make money, right? I get it. And if you do have a little extra, you want to invest it back into your business. And whether that's with catalogs or, good night, Mr. Clements, catalogs or something. I'm sorry, I just saw smooching. Catalogs or something like that you want to put it back in your business. Great. Samples, great. If you have a little extra and you want to incentivize your team, that's fine. Make sure that you know that sometimes it's tough for some people to think if it's duplicatable or not. What that means is if you're handing out free ambassadorship of $34.95 to you, $34.95 to you, and people come on, they're going to think, oh my God, I have to give that to the person that I sign on, but I want to keep my money. That's why I'm doing this business. I don't want to hand out this money. So they might be a little leery on joining you, following you, duplicating you because they physically can't, or they might feel bad about it. Never feel bad about not doing incentives. Guys, this compensation plan is mind-blowing.
Is the incentive. That should be the incentive. I don't know if any of you watched the Jill Renfro's diamond, 12 or 14 days diamonds thing. And she was saying, she hit the nail on the head. Like, are you signing 3 people for a t-shirt, or are you signing 3 people for the longevity of your business? Because this compensation plan is the prize. And I mean, it's great to have, incentives, now and again, but it's not why we're all here. We should be working to build our business, not for a sweatshirt or, I don't know, sunglasses, whatever it may be. I mean, there's bigger reasons to work for this.
Right. Hey, incentives are super fun. I get
Yes.
that. I would run for certain things too, depending upon what it is. But when it comes down to it, I'm doing this business for my children. That's why.
Yes.
I'm not doing it for a planner or a water bottle, which, hey, they're great and I love them. And if I can get it, great. But if I didn't get it, I'm not going to kick myself because I worked my butt off to build my business for the future. So just remember that you don't have to do incentives. No one's forcing you to do them. And make sure that what you do is duplicatable, that your team will see it and say, yes, I could try that too. So that's why a while back we were talking about the January incentive, where we would have that $34.95, and we're like, you know what? Why not reach out to your downline and say, I can give some of that to you too. That was an option. Some people balked and said, they did not like that. A lot of people came to me and said, that was horrible. Can't believe you said that. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. It's not for everybody. It was just an option, people. But anyway, going back to it, I think we hit this one a little bit enough that just know duplication is what you're looking at. If you are working this business from the crack of dawn until 9 o'clock at night, every single night, and in all the nooks and crannies of your day, in order to build this for the future, great, if that works for you. But if you're doing this to the detriment of your family at all hours, it's called balance. No one has a perfect balance, but know that I'm as obsessed with Plexus as the next person, but for real, I do take time off and I shut it down, and I have to spend time with my family, or else why would we be doing this in the first place, right? So these Monday night calls, we really try to keep them down to max an hour so that you guys can have your family time and have your business time, because these calls are not income producing. They give you ideas and information to do your income producing activities. But so just know that for me, in the morning, I'll work from give or take, if doctor's appointments and all that. That's the beauty of time freedom with this company. Doctor's appointments, kids stuff, we can jump and run and go do that. But my work hours go from the time the kids get on the bus until they come home. So I shut down for the most part at 2. So if I don't answer a text, guess what? As I said before, it's not brain surgery. No one's going to die.
Right.
It's okay. So know that a little, we can breathe, and it's great. Hey, I would love for you guys to work all day and all night and build your teams, and I will certainly help you do that. But know that there's always also a balance too.
Yes, and everybody's day looks different, and when you're going to work looks different. I mean, Kathleen and I are home during the day, and we set our work hours during the day. And I mean, not that I'm not doing anything in the evening, but there's nights that I'm not answering the phone. I'm not answering messages. It's my time to be with my family, or my time to help my son, especially, homework time. It's like hours that I'm spending doing homework with my son. So, and I'm not taking away that time. Do you know what I mean? That's why I do this business, so that I can do that. So, I mean, everybody's day may look different. So if if you message somebody in the evening and they don't get back to you until the next day, that's because those are their work hours.
And also, I think that people look at will look at you and say, oh my gosh, you're spending all this time doing this business. I don't know if I want to do that too. I don't think I have the energy, time, or effort to do that. There's no way. Again, that's not duplicatable. So yeah, I work at night when the kids go to bed and stuff like that, but it's flexible. But Mandy, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I was going to say my storefront. I have my business hours. I've got my family time. So I work my business. I'm open all day for any questions, any Zoom calls, any three-way calls. But once I'm off for the night, I'm off. So if I get messages, I answer them when I'm back in again tomorrow morning. So
yeah, I agree.
Balance.
But that also doesn't mean, like, with the balance part, I know that sometimes at night I'm messaging my friends on Facebook because I also have a life outside of
Plexus.
on Facebook with friends that aren't Plexus people. It's really a weird life, I'm telling you. Outside of Plexus life, it's a riot. Seeing Facebook outside of Plexus Facebook, it's weird. But so just know that. So when you start building your team and you start bringing them in, love on them where they are and bring them into the fold and help them grow in the time constraints that they have, and understand that everyone has that family and all that lovely stuff, that you're doing this for a little extra money or a whole lot. Here's the other thing. What I love to do is get an idea of where people are when they're coming in. If they say, yeah, I want to do this business, and you say, okay, so how much money would be life-changing for you? What would that look like? Then they would give me, say, a number of $300 or something like that. That's a great, huge chunk of change for people. So you take that and compare it to the monthly income in the little picture of how the rankings and all that, and say, all right, this is what a typical $300 a month, this was like a gold, silver to a gold would look like. And this is how many people you need to bring in and maintain and that kind of thing. We can do that. It's a huge, great side business. Let's do that together. And know that they're not going to put the same amount of time as if someone says, I need $4,000 a month. Okay, or 10 or 30 grand a month. All right, that's a complete different picture. So those people that you bring in as ambassadors, love on them where they are. And when they get to that $300 a month, you celebrate. If they get to $100 a month, you celebrate it. Love on them, encourage them further, but give them their space as well. So I know that it seems kind of counterproductive, but guys, imagine if somebody pushed you way too hard and scared the bejesus out of you. You would run for the hill. So yes, we want people to go fast start gold. Of course we do. I would love everybody to go fast start gold on the team. Why not? And you can, right? So I encourage people to do that all the live long day, but reality versus their goals, and meet somewhere in the middle.
Well, I think if you have a connection with them, personal connection with them, and you're just talking with them in general, not just Plexus constantly, I think that you are going to find that they want to join you and do what you're doing without you having to say or push any of that stuff. I think it's just, no one wants to be pushed. If Kathleen said, to me, you got to do this, when I signed up, there's no way I would have done it. Right. If she was pushing me like that. That's not the way she approached it. I talked to her for a while as a friend. We caught up and whatever. We had about 30 years in between when we talked, but it was just a different approach. It's just, if you have a relationship with somebody and you're talking to them, even this wholesale person all the time, they may jump in and want to do this at some point if you're constantly keeping in touch with them and just being a friend to them. They might want to join your positivity and your little party you got going on there. So look at it that way instead of, trying to push people to want to do this business. They have to want to do it.
I think Hillary hit the nail on the head in the little in the chat down at the bottom, where she says, I work full time and I get up 30 minutes in the morning to do emails and other stuff, and then at work she checks on a lunch hour and after work. That and been knowing to sneak off a few times to help people sign up. It's perfect. I think that's where everybody is, right? So that's fabulous. And if nothing else, that's great. And I know this sounds, I'm sure I'm going to get some balking from some of the Jewels saying, why are you telling people to do this? It's just reality sometimes sets in. But, and so if nothing else, those personal if taking anything away from tonight, personal connections are the key. And I'm thinking of an ambassador that has been with a business for a while, and she works her tail off and loves this job. And every now and again, when she brings people in, and then they might say, okay, how long have you been with the company? But I see you doing this stuff all the time, and she's posting all the time and meeting. She's doing so much. She brings catalogs and samples, and she runs a customer group and a business group, and it looks exhausting. She's not on our team, by the way, just a friend of mine. It looks exhausting. So people say, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do all that. I can't do all that. I'm not at that level of excitement that you're at. I'm down here, so maybe it's too much. But so you just find a balance, is all we're saying. It's look at people individually rather than as a whole of what you want to get out of them. And one other thing that we really wanted to look at is what your smart team looks like. Building your team and doing it the smart way that we would love for you guys to duplicate, what should be duplicatable, and is walking people through that process of signing people up. If you can't do it on the phone or on a Zoom or with them in person, a lot of the time lately I'm doing it for them, which is not very duplicatable, but we want to make sure that's done correctly. So a smart sign up is walking them through, and you having the steps, knowing what the steps look like, having them type it in so that you can explain to them what they're doing. Because everyone says, oh, it should be super simple and super easy. Yes, but 90% of the time people are skipping that subscription part. And we know, we've done stats all over the place, that people that don't have subscriptions turned on are only 15% likely to ever sign on again. And I think Karen Moody hit the nail on the head when she says all the time, if you don't have a subscription on, you just signed on a retail customer and screwed them and screwed yourself. How expensive is it to have someone that pays at $34.95 when they could have been a customer for a cheaper price? But just having them, explaining to them what the purpose of the subscription is for and how and why. So we know we have the whole idea is to have them be successful with the products. Get on those products every dang day so that you get the full effect. If not, why bother in the first place, right? So that is a huge part of a duplicatable system. Make sure that your team has their signups on. So if you haven't gone into your back office, if you have one customer, one ambassador in that back office every single day to see what's going on. Just as an example, I went in there the other day and looking through all of my level ones every single day to see where everybody is, subscriptions on, orders went out, credit cards decline. That's what I look for every single day. And one of them was this woman that it looked like her $34.95 was going off. I'm like, this lady hasn't been active in a long time. So I messaged her and I said, do you have an order? And I couldn't see what it was. I said, do you have an order coming out? What's going on? She said, no, I don't think so. I said, you haven't been active in a while, but your $34.95 I think is going to come out. So I caught it before it went through and helped her clear that up. And she was super thankful because she said, oh my gosh, if that went out, I don't need that. I haven't done it in a while. So yeah, I helped her quit, but I saved a friendship in the process.
Right.
And that kept that communication open. Or people that have their credit cards decline, you want to catch that as soon as you can, not at the end of the month. Because
you don't want to call at the end of the month on a credit card issue. You want to catch them as they're happening and call customer service or contact your customer or your ambassador, whoever it may be, and let them know right away. Because between the 24th and the 28th of the month, you could be on hold for a very, very long time.
Because
Waiting to take
people
care of
like
those
us that
issues.
are doing this exact stuff.
Right.
But if you catch it on that day, people will definitely look at you like, wow, she is on top of her business.
Mhm.
And because guess what? This is a business. This is the crunch and dirty numbers that you really have to do. But you will catch so many more people along the way and help them out, or duplicative orders that have gone out on accident or something like that. Get on that so much sooner, and we can help you do that if you have trouble with it. But get in that back office every single day. Check out what your PV is, check out your customers, check out your points every single day, check out your convention credits every day, see how that's going, because that's so fun. And talk to your team in your chat and say, hey guys, any new customers, anything I can help with? Those are the things that your team would definitely appreciate. So definitely that back office on the regular, if not every day. And also writing down, I say this all the time, writing down your points every single day, even if you have 5, write 5 points every day. Write it down.
Just write them in your planner, on the, in your calendar, just so you can keep track to make sure the next month that you are on the right track.
Because 3 months down the road, when you have 60, 80, you're going to be like, oh my God, remember 3 months ago I only had 5. Now I got like 90. How great is that, right? So definitely keep on top of that. Super smart sign up. So running a team, super smart signups, being in your back office, being on top of all those customer subscriptions and those kinds of things. And on top of that, the compliance stuff. Yay, we love compliance. Way back when, we could say anything and it was okay. We could say every disease name known to man and post about it and say, did you know that so-and-so has fibromyalgia and she doesn't have it anymore and Plexus help? We couldn't say that it cured it, but pretty much people did.
We pretty much did.
And it's not right. And we can't say that, even though Mandy, I know. But if you ask Mandy with her story.
That's why I started. It wasn't for weight loss. It was because I saw a post on rheumatoid arthritis, or I would have kept scrolling.
I know. Well, we did gear a lot towards weight loss, right? Like when we first started, it wasn't as much about gut health and all that stuff. But we were able to say, I used to start posts with like, do you have diabetes? and then, like information about it. So no, we cannot do that anymore. And I still see that quite a bit. We want to protect Plexus. It's not them that's coming down on us. It's the FTC. We cannot do that.
We're not the compliance police. We don't want to be the compliance police, but we do see that a lot lately, and we want to protect you because compliance does look at all of Facebook, and they might do a sweep of, say, sleep. One of my level 1 ambassadors said that she got contacted by compliance because she said the word sleep. Like, well, we really aren't supposed to because these products aren't sleep aids. Isn't that weird? Like it's not. So she got pinged for that, and all it is asked to take those posts down. And 1-2 times, it's not a big deal. They'll just ask you to take it down, and it's fine because the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, monitors our company. So we have a team that monitors what we do, which does make sense. It's solely to protect us. So you don't have to be the compliance police for everybody else, but if you do know and feel comfortable talking with the people that you see a post on, you could just shoot them a message and say, hey, I was on this call the other night, and you could totally throw us under the bus. Totally. And say, hey, Kath was talking the other night. You can't say those things on thing. I don't know if you know this, but Kathy told me that we really can't say that on there. So just to keep yourself safe, why don't you take that down? Something super simple. But we can't say any disease names or any of that stuff. But we are able to use symptoms or talk about how you feel, right? Because say with the arthritis stuff that Mandy was talking about, well, if she saw something, yes, that arthritis, that word comes out at you, but if we can't say that it cured her of her issues, but she certainly feels a heck of a lot better, and her symptoms are greatly reduced. So if you talk about that inflammation and we can't even say pain, but
Say
hey,
discomfort. You could say discomfort.
yes, discomfort. So Jackie says, what about the testimonies? They always mention disease. Yes, they do.
Yes,
We
they do.
try very hard in the Plexus Success Group that we do not bring them up. But you might find them in there every now and again. And we try really hard. But sometimes the stories are so...
they're so good and we can't share them. We want to share them.
Yeah.
Can you unmute yourself, Jackie? Do you have a question? Oh, okay. I see you like kind of talking.
But Elena said she got pinged by compliance for the 7-day trial graphics and before and afters. So some of the before and afters even, we could do full on face, you could do a time hop, stuff like that. There's always, they're trying to be less stringent. For a while, we couldn't do before and afters at all. We had to do just the corporate ones. And then we went back to corporate and said, come on, let's be a little bit, give us a little something, something. So it depends upon the wording of some of those things. And if you did, like, Elena, I hope I pronounced it correctly, Elena, that you got pinged, man. Got your first one down. You're okay. Everybody gets pinged at some point in their life. So you got yours nice and early. So good for you.
Well, their post somebody else got pinged for that post. So I'm assuming that pretty much anyone who posted this 7-day trial picture or whatever it might have been, got pinged for that.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
So even Diane said that, yes, with the before and after pictures. Oh, yes, and with some of the old labels of Slim and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I understand that. So just because we don't know all of it, we really don't, because, geez, there's a lot of little things. So it's okay. Just above anything, just stick with the disease stuff. Don't do that. That's all. And go from there. The rest will be gravy. So, but guys, I'm sure you guys have tons of questions and stuff of what to do with some of your team. How about wholesale stuff? That's what everybody's going to ask about. I have a whole team of wholesalers. What do I do with them? Great. I'm glad you asked, Kath. Let me tell you. What I do have, I would say out of my 50-something level 1 ambassadors, I have maybe 8 that are working the business, right? So what about the other 40-something? So I love on them all the time and make sure that they're okay. I treat them like customers. And if you haven't heard me say this before, treat them like you're dating them, right? So you love your date. When you go on a date, you get dressed up and all that, and you do your best, and you do your nails, and you make sure you're shaved, and you're all that stuff. Sorry, guys, but you do, right? So, and you try your best, and you communicate, and you ask questions, and all that, and it's wonderful. And then you get married and have kids, and you're like, oh, well, he's not going anywhere, right? So that's what most people think about, that when the customers become ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
No, love on them. Everyone wants to love. We didn't say before with the incentives and stuff, we say this all the time. People work for praises so much more than raises. You don't have to give them money or prizes or gifts or swag. Give them a shout out all the time, all day long on their personal wall. You are rocking your business. How great is that? Do that. Love on them. So wholesale ambassadors, do the same thing. Continue to date them. Treat them like customers. Love on them. If you heard me say this 500 kajillion times, is I have my little habit tracker thing in there. It's just a dated chart, and it shows how often I talk with my customers, how often I talk to my ambassadors. And you can see on there, some of them have checks every single day, because I check in with some people every day. Some are just once a week. But guys, if you go a month without talking to your wholesale ambassadors, no, love on them. Ask them how they're doing, their sleep, their energy, their pooping. Talk about anything. But love on them, because they're much more likely to stay. And don't hide behind the, oh my gosh, that subscription's gonna go out, like, please. You should be confident. They love their products and that subscription's coming out, and how excited are they? So even if it's something bad, don't be worried if they come back with, oh my gosh, I gained weight. I had one of those the other day. I gained weight, Kath. What am I doing wrong? I'm like, you're not doing anything wrong. I said, all I did was say, tell me, what are you doing? Tell me about, and so I want the specifics. What products are you taking? How often and when? How much water exactly are you drinking a day? I want them to give me specifics, not just say, are you drinking your water, making a yes, no question, right? So when they do, I found out that it was because of the winter weather, this person has upped their water intake a lot, and they were super excited about it. They're like, oh, I'm drinking all my water now. I wasn't a couple weeks ago, but oh my God, I'm gaining weight. Duh, you were dehydrated before. Now you're drinking all this water, your body's holding on to it, right? And they're like, oh, I'm super bloated, because your body's retaining all this water because it's in shock that, oh my God, we were dehydrated for so long and we're not. Let's hold all the water in. So just keep drinking your water. Keep working with the products, let them work their course, and it'll all go away. And it did, right? So don't be scared of the negative questions or the negative responses. Message your upline, message one of us and say, oof, this is what I got. What should I do? Right? And we're all here to help you. Mm-hmm. Hold on. What else do you guys got with questions? I think we got everything. Did we hit everything up?
I have everything covered on the list that I have.
Good. Yay, see guys. We got, okay.
Unless you didn't send me something.
There's always something in my head.
You know.
I'm going to stop the recording now because I know whenever we do, you